What's up, guys? Welcome back to Fish Over Chicks Woodworking. My name is Peter, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build this super cool, sleek, and very easy to make knife block. So this holds 4 knives. It's got 4 slits in the top there, and it is very easy to make, and it does not take a lot of wood, just a few pieces of walnut. So yeah, let's hop into it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to need is 2 pieces of hardwood. I'm using 2 pieces of walnut. This one is 1 inch thick, this one is 3/4 inch thick. The thickness does not really matter as long as it is at least 3/4 inches thick. And you're going to need 2 of those. So I've got these right here, and these are 5 inches wide by 7 inches tall. So that's all you're going to need for now. We will put a bottom plate underneath it, which we'll do later, but for now, this is all you're going to need. So let's get into it. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to line up our ruler right on the edge there, and we're going to find 1 inch over, and we're going to mark it there, and then another inch, mark it there, another inch, mark there, another inch, mark there. So you've got 4 sections right here that you've marked, and that is going to be where you're going to make the cuts for the knife to fit in. It over to the table saw, and that's where your 4 slots are going to be for the knife. So what we're going to do here is raise the blade up to about 1/2 inch. Now what we're going to do is put our fence to 1 inch, because that is where we made the first mark, right there. And we're going to flip this over, and we're going to run it through, and then we're going to do that with our next piece here. And then once we've done that, we're going to flip it over to this side and do it there as well. So now that you got these 2 pieces with those 4 slats cut out, obviously the next step is to glue them together. Since this is going to be holding knives, which is a utensil, just to make sure that it is all food safe, I'm going to use Type-On 3 because I know it's food safe. So go ahead and put a very light amount of glue in between each of those slats. Don't need to go crazy. We don't want the glue to seep over into the slats. So go ahead and rub that in with your finger a little bit. Simply put the other board right on top there. Try to line that up as perfectly as possible. If you've got that lined up, now go ahead and clamp it. Alright, now that we got that clamped up, I'm just going to go ahead and get off some of the excess glue. Alright, so we got that gluing up, and now I'm going to let it sit for about 2 hours, and then we'll come back and we'll do the next step. Alright, it's about 2 hours later, so now I'm going to take these clamps off. Alright, there you go. We've got those slits cut in there, looking good. So now we're going to go clean it up on the table saw. Just take a little bit off of each side, all 4 sides, just to make sure that it's perfectly flat. There's a little bit of inconsistency here, like this side is a little bit more raised up than this side, so the table saw will just flatten that out, and we'll have a nice, perfectly square and even surface to work with. Alright, so now that we've got this clamped up, squared up, and it's looking good, what we're going to do is go ahead and cut a base piece. So this base piece is solely used just for balance. It's going to go there, and then the block is going to sit on it like that, and that's going to help it balance once we've got them glued up. So this is going to be 3/8 inches thick, so you don't want it too thick, just under 1/2 inch thick. And then it is 5 inches long, just like this piece here, and then it is 3 inches wide. So once you've got this cut, you're just going to go ahead, lay that down, again using Type-On 3 glue. Put a nice amount of glue just on one side, and rub that in with your finger. And obviously, because we can't clamp at an angle like this without some sort of jig, so we're just going to use some masking tape to act as a clamp, and that's going to be totally fine. It'll apply more than enough pressure. You just kind of want to put the tape on fairly tight. So I'm going to take 3 pieces and put them on my workbench. So just grab your piece and you're going to want to line it up right there. And before I tape, I always put some pressure down on it. Alright, and now that you've got that there, it's looking good. We're going to give that some time to glue. So as I said, obviously, this is all you need. You don't need any clamps. I am going to put a few more pieces of tape just on the back side. Might be overkill, but that's alright. Alright, so we're going to let this sit for about 2 hours, and then we're going to get the sanding and finishing it. We're going to make it food safe, just like a cutting board would be. We're going to use the same oil, which is Howard's cutting board oil. I always have some on hand because it is the best on the market. Link in the description if you want some Howard cutting board oil. That is all I use for all my projects. But yeah, so we'll get back to this in about 2 hours. Alright, so now that we've let it completely dry, we're just going to go ahead and apply the mineral oil. If you make cutting boards often, you know that once you apply that wet rag, you go ahead and sand it again. We don't have to do that because the reason you do that is because you want the cutting board to stay soft after you wash it. For a knife block holder, we're not going to need to wash it. I've never washed mine, I don't know about you guys, but you're not going to need to wash it, so we do not have to do that. You can if you want to, but it's definitely not necessary. So now we're going to go ahead and put the mineral oil on it. Like I said, I use Howard cutting board oil. I found that this is the best cutting board oil to use. Obviously, this is not a cutting board, it's mineral oil. It's called cutting board oil, same thing. Best one, highly recommend Howard. So let's get this thing coated. I wear gloves, you don't need to, and I use a shop towel to apply it. So just go ahead and pour it on there and rub it in. Alright, so there you have it. It looks great. The oil really makes the grain pop, and it looks really good. So now what we're going to do is let it sit for about 20 minutes and then go over it again with another coat, and then let it sit for another 20 minutes, then go over with another coat. That's just going to make sure that it is completely food safe, and then you'll be done. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. As always, comment anything down below that you'd like us to make, and me and John would be happy to make that video for you guys. Thank you again for all the support. We just hit 2,000 subscribers at the time that I'm filming this, so that's awesome. So thank you again for all the subscribers, and until next time, thank you for watching.